finding that the repressive thing in human nature hasn't gone away. And in this system, but it's not just in this system, they're mistaken if they think that.
You don't think then with some, as there seems to be a lot of writing now about it, that it's inherent in the American system?
It's inherent in every political system. The Russians do it, the Cubans do it. A political system can't tolerate real opposition, and especially in the 20th century. It's a very difficult thing for it to accept.
Hi there. My name is Victoria, and today I will be talking about Arthur Miller's Crucible and the main theme present in it. The freezing temperatures clearly signify the birth of spring, which is funny, but not really, because we'll be discussing another birth, the birth of widespread fear and false accusations, which is all The Crucible by Arthur Miller is about. In fact, let's do a little background rundown on the novel. The Crucible by Arthur Miller is a 1953 play written about the dramatized Salem witch trials. The Salem witch trials were a series of prosecutions of people accused of witchcraft in colonial Massachusetts. The trials created a great chaos and panic, which resulted in the executions of 20 people and caused mass hysteria throughout. Though at first, the Salem witch trials may seem like an odd topic to write about, The Crucible is in fact an allegory to the political climate of the United States in the 1950s, and more specifically, McCarthyism. McCarthyism refers to a campaign perpetuated by Senator Joseph McCarthy starting in 1950, which was a political phenomenon carried out during the Cold War. The Cold War was also a time of the Second Red Scare and high tensions with the communist Soviet Union. Unsurprisingly, the US government released a lot of propaganda demonizing communism, creating widespread fear amongst American society. So, when Senator Joseph McCarthy claimed to have a list of alleged communists in the US government and other institutions, he created a chaos, a panic. People started pointing fingers, naming names, and accusing neighbors who just, oh so coincidentally, they didn't like. Wait, are we talking about McCarthyism or the Salem witch trials? One very specific person affected and accused of being a communist was Arthur Miller. Sound familiar?
Yeah.
He should, because he's the playwright of The Crucible. And in fact, The Crucible is addressing both the Salem witch trials and McCarthyism. Miller is addressing the political climate as a whole from colonial days to modern times. So, here we have it, one of the major themes that Miller is trying to convey through The Crucible. Hysteria is a common factor in the American political climate, and it causes separation and disunity within a society.
But there are other communists who don't show their real faces, who work more silently.
By the early 19th.
There is a misty plot afoot, so subtle we should be criminal to cling to old respects and ancient friendships. I have seen too many frightful proofs in court. The devil is alive in Salem, and we dare not quail to follow wherever the accusing finger points. This quote, said by Hale in Act 2 on page 68, is significant because it demonstrates the mindset of hysteria that is present in Salem during the witch trials. Hale says that it would be unfair and unjust to be sentimental to our friendships and to the people we know, which proves that Miller is portraying a sense of disunity within the community and a sense of distrust, which is very significant because that's what The Crucible is about, is that oftentimes, whether it's within a society, that chaos sprouts, or because of government officials, such as during Miller's time, if there is uncontrollable hysteria, it separates a society and it takes away from the power of the people. And so we know hysteria is being portrayed in this quote because when Hale refers to the frightful proofs, it could be oftentimes in these Salem witch trials the proofs weren't significant at
Throughout the Crucible, Arthur Miller conveys the theme of hysteria causing separation and disunity within a community by giving examples of people accusing other people and simply caring for their own security regardless of the consequences. For example, this starts right in Act 1 when Abigail is questioned about her activities in the woods and she accuses Tituba of witchcraft, which eventually escalates the situation in Salem and makes matters worse. And so because there is hysteria, people believe Abigail despite her lack of any evidence and clear reasons of revenge.
Now, this is not a Republican issue. This is not a Democrat issue. This, my good friends, is an American issue.